I want to show you how you can use sales quotes within Dynamics GP to establish your forecast and incorporate that forecast in your MRP process in manufacturing. So let's take a look at it. So let's go to the sales area page and we'll take a look at these quotes. What I did is I set up 5 quotes. You can see them here. I've got a quote in July through November. And let's take a look at a particular quote. And what I've done is I've put 2 items on this quote and a quantity. And this represents the forecast of these items that I want to sell starting July 1st. I'm going to take these quotes, I'm going to incorporate them into the MRP demand. MRP is going to look at that and specify or suggest planned orders and also planned purchase orders. So I've got a quote for 5 months. I can scroll through there. You can see as I scroll through, I've got different months up here. This is September. I've got 2 items. I've got different quantities. If I want to take a look at all these quotes together, I can go over to Refreshable Excel reports and we'll take a look at a refreshable Excel report that I can use and look at a pivot table. So let's do that right now. I'm going to look up sales line items. And let me use this one right here. So this is going to show me all those line items from the quotes that we just looked at. I'm going to move those into Excel here. And then I want to make a quick pivot table to show you how I can analyze this data. Let's create that pivot table here. I'm going to pull the item number into the rows and the quantities here. Let's also pull the document date for the column label here. And here you can see I've got my data. I can make it look a little better here. I can click on these fields here and change the way that they look in my pivot table. So here let's change the number format for this one. There we go. And now I've got a representation of my entire forecast for all my items for my periods of times that I have forecasted. So this is one way to look at a number of different quotes put together so you can analyze it. Now let's go up to the manufacturing area page here. And I'm going to run the MRP. So let's regenerate the MRP process here. And again, this is going to look at the quotes. It's going to look at available inventory and available demand as represented by the quotes, and it's going to suggest planned manufacturing orders and also planned purchase orders. So let's take a look at that right now. So I'm going to go into some of my inquiry screens here for MRP. This is a window I like quite a bit. I'm going to look up one of my items here and refresh that. And here you can see I've got my planned orders against my demand. So the demands again are represented by the quotes here. I've got in July I've got a demand of 10,000, August 12,000, and MRP is suggesting that I create planned manufacturing orders for 9,800 in July and 12,000 in August. So let's do that. I'm going to select this one here and then go to the Actions button here, and I'm going to look at turning this into a manufacturing order. Go to the planned order, it brings up this screen here. I'm going to transfer this to a manufacturing order. So once I've opened up my manufacturing order, it's ready to go. What I want to do is I want to rerun MRP. So I'll look at that manufacturing order and figure out what I need to buy in order to complete that. So let's go back over to the MRP process and run that again. So it's running now, and then when that's done, we're going to go over to the purchasing area, and it'll suggest POs that we need to execute in order to get the products that we want for this particular item. So let's do that now. Go to purchasing here, request resolution. These are the purchase orders that the MRP process is suggesting I execute. And you can see here I'm ready to go on 3 of these items. One of the items needs to be released in a past time in order to make it here. So what I have to do is talk to the vendor to make sure that I can get that item when I need it. I can click on this button here, and it's going to commit all the items that it knows it can get. And this one item here, I need to talk again with the vendor or select another vendor from which to get this item. So I'm going to select this vendor just because I know I can get this. So I'm going to select that here. You can see I've got typically the lead time is too long, but that's okay. I've talked to the vendor, he's ready to go, so I'm going to create that PO. Hit OK, it's going to go in the process of creating that PO. We'll take a look at that PO. And here's a purchase order here. This is the PO that was generated by the MRP process. And what I wanted to show you is how I could set up a sales quote in Dynamics GP and have that feed the MRP process, generating planned manufacturing orders and planned purchase orders. There's also a sales forecasting module within manufacturing, but if you don't have it or you don't want to purchase it, you can use sales quotes to manage your demand in Dynamics GP.